What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for episode 16 of Guardians Franchise. Sorry, it's been a little bit between recordings. I got to get another backlog going there so we can stay consistent on kind of the every other day. But we are in the 2026 offseason. I almost said 2025 because I looked at the year there. But we're getting through it. We're on the cusp of the Rule 5 draft. Now, a lot of things haven't happened. I will spoil that right now and just say, like, I don't have a ton of moves for y'all, but I got some things to go over, kind of figure out what we want to do here in the second half of this free agency period, because I think there's some things we definitely need to shore up. The team isn't just good to go. We got crushed by Baltimore, but at the same time, I don't know where those moves are right now. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's just start with a few things that I've got on my checklist over here, and then we'll kind of move through some things together, including the aforementioned Rule 5. Oh, you know what else I need to do? Let's run this practice here for the international market, and we're about a month away from being able to sign those guys. So, first and foremost, Josh Naylor declined the qualifying offer, which we thought he might. Y'all, push come to shove, I couldn't get there as far as a free agent offer, and I wanted to go with my gut and where it was at. And it was one of those things where it's like, if it works, of course, I'd be happy. But would I derive as much happiness from it working as I would anger from it not working, right? Like, what was the equation on those? And because I had such a concerned feeling about how he might age, I just couldn't get there with Josh Naylor. Even coming off the career year and everything, almost maybe because he's coming off a career year, it's the one time he's done it at this level with this kind of volume. You know, Josh Naylor put up a 136 WRC plus, 3.5 wins, 32 bombs with 101 ribbies. I mean, it was the classic 300, 30, 100. That was everything when I was a kid. Like, it's still a good metric, but obviously we have all these other, advanced metrics that you shoot for. But you do 300 average, 30 homers, and 100 ribs, you had a good season. And I know that average and RBIs are not the best talent measures because they are team dependent and have variability to them that can be on the luck side as well when it comes to batting average, for sure. But what I'm saying is you can't really have a bad 300, 30, 100. So he was great. I'm just not there, though, because that's not who he's been. He's not like Maglio or Ordonez or something. That's kind of what I think of. For some reason, that's the ideal of 330-10 for me. Maybe it shouldn't be. Let's see how many times he did that. But for some reason, that's what I keep anchoring on right now as I think about it. So he had 30 bombs 4 times. He had over 300 all 4. He had 100 ribbies all 4. He also had a 317, 29, 99. And then the 363 season with the Tigers, he had 28 with 139. And then he had even another season with 298, 24, 104. So that's like a very light, a lighter version of it. So I got to say, I kind of nailed it. I kind of freaking nailed it there with the platonic ideal of 330, 100 with Maglio Ordonez. In fact, for his career, which takes everything, the back end when players usually have a little bit of a come down. He had some injury period. He still averaged 26, 108, and a 309 average. So he was just 4 homers away from that being his 162 game average. So yay me, I'm awesome. No, I'm just kidding. But if Naylor was that kind of guy, then yeah, we're committing. But I just couldn't get there. Okay, so I don't need to belabor that anymore. I'm just saying the same things in different ways. Doesn't mean we can't revisit him, but he's going to have to come down in price. I mean, that's all there is to it. I'm just not here right now on this price. And frankly, we can't afford it now anyway, which means we spent some of our money. I'll get to that in just a moment. So I offered a guy named Sukyung Numgung, and I'm definitely pronouncing that incorrectly. Not on purpose, of course, but I just don't think that's the right way to pronounce it. His nickname is Slugger, which is great. But the last name was the tougher part for me. Numgung? Maybe? I mean, I'm just kind of sounding it out. I don't know if there's spins on that I'm missing. But as always, with any pronunciation, whether it's, an American name or whatever, not just a South Korean name as this one is, whatever the name is, if I'm botching it, hit me up. I'm not going to be upset, or I feel dumber when I miss ones. So absolutely let me know on that one. And to that point, big thanks to somebody. I'll jump over to this little tidbit for a moment because I added a couple of folks to the 40-man. Mason Hour. Where did he go? Mason Hour. That's not the one I'm talking about. But then also Adam Misiaszek. Remember this name last episode? Or Andrew, sorry. Now I got the first name wrong. That's hilarious. Andrew. And I was like, boy, I don't know. I do not know how to say that. That name was really tripping me up. And I had a commenter let me know on that. So I'm going to put this in as his nickname. That's what I do with tough pronunciations. And that way I remember him. Misiaszek, and I think he said something like, oh, you're going to know that name because he's going to win reliever of the year. Well, he's now on the 40-man because I looked at him, 60 stuff, 55 home run and BABIP with 45 control. That's a pretty standard reliever profile. That is like an extra 5 on something away from being really good. And I don't really want him to be Rule 5 eligible. We had spots. We had 5. I ended up using 2 on him and Hour. And I looked over some of these other guys here at the top, like Wilfredo Antunes. I could maybe save him. He's 23. Now that I look at it, I actually didn't look at his age the first time I looked at the profile, and I was like, this is decent, but whatever. Now that I see he's 23, I think maybe we do use a spot for him. We got Xavier Curry right now. Okay, no, wait, he's not the long-term injured one. That's Ben Lively. Never mind then. I mean, I could kick Ben Lively off the 40 just because he's out for like a whole year. And if somebody takes him, or not a whole year, but 7-8 months from now, so he'll be back like past the halfway point of next year probably. So I might just waive and designate him for assignment just to get the spot. We're not at the 40 yet, but like he doesn't need to take a spot. Curry can stick, even though his profile is not super appealing. He's almost back from his ruptured finger tendon. So yeah, Namgung got an offer. We'll see if he wants to take it. I didn't even go into him. I got so caught up on the pronunciation there. But 22 years old, really interesting player with crazy gap and avoid K. 80 gap power with 90 potential. So he breaks the scale on it. 75 avoid K with 80 potential. Not much power to speak of. 40 power, 45 I, and 55 BABIP. So those skills are pretty light. But he's also got an amazing speed profile, quality outfielder with 60 range, 65 air, and 50 arm, and then high work ethic. So I'm like, why not? 22 years old, he'll take a minor league deal. We offered him $4 million. So that's the major league portion of the contract. Probably we'll just put him right on the roster because I have messed those up before. Now that was in last year's game where I forget to bring them up and they just leave. I don't think I'm like, listen, I should remember. I am the GM, like that is our job. I don't think it's out of pocket to maybe say it'd be kind of cool if they gave you a little pop-up notification with like 5 days left. He's on day 25 of being in the minors. If Sukyung Namgung spends 5 more days in AAA, he will be able to leave. Something like that would be kind of cool. Anyway, he came over, Namgung did, and he's part of what has been a robust international class. And this international class is kind of saving the overall situation because I didn't find the overall pool to be great. There's some guys, but it was a real infusion to it. Maybe saying saving it is unfair because I don't think it's inherently weak on its own, but it's a real booster. It really deepens the pool. So let me find that list of guys so we can go over them from there. We talked about them. Oh yeah, we did talk about the market size increasing last time. Sorry, just making sure. International market will be later in the month, I think. And I think it has a red exclamation too. I hate when I'm looking for something that I think has a red exclamation and it doesn't. Then you're really in some trouble because you're going to be looking in the wrong spot, So, a handful of guys here. Got some out of Cuba, Mexico, Japan, England, South Africa, South Korea, Taiwan, and Aruba. I love the mixture. Cool, creates more storylines. I don't think we usually get players out of these spots, but I like that. Like, that's something that maybe is a little less realistic. Now, that doesn't mean players don't come from all sorts of different spots. They do in baseball, and you can find players from, a lot of different unique spots. But we're going to have them more or less every year the way we have it set up. I think I did make like one tweak to kind of change some of the locations that they come from. In fact, let me see if I can find that. League settings, players maybe. Edit this. Yeah, here you go. You can see what I've got here. It's nothing crazy. It's still mostly the DR and Venezuela. Oh, wait. That's international scouting discoveries. Hang on. Okay, here's what I've got. This is different. So Cuba, Japan, they're still going to run the show here in the international game, which I want, right? Because that's where most of them come from in real life, and that's where a lot of baseball talent is. So that's great. But then I got Mexico, Taiwan, the Netherlands, Nicaragua, Aruba, Australia, Curacao, South Korea, England, and South Africa up there. I want to say I kind of want to move up South Korea because I feel like the KBO produces a lot of talent in baseball, and I feel like maybe they should have a higher percentage. Let's see. What if we move it up to 497, and then we take 1 point from Taiwan, half a point from Nicaragua, and half a point from Australia. How's that? Does that work? There you go. Cool. So anyway, let's get into some of the players that are here and talk about where we're at with them. Because like I said, it was a robust class. And of course, they took me off the email. Can I go, if I do back button, will it take, okay. See, I tricked the system on that one. So this first guy that we're going to talk about, Juan Geiler, Guillet, I don't know. I don't know if it would be the like a French version of it or not. He's out of Cuba, but he's already signed with the Yankees. And this dude is a stud. And I did kind of take some investigation on him. We got the scouting report on him. He'd already signed by the time the report was back. Now, I don't necessarily wait for them. If I wanted him and I thought he was the dude, I would have put in an offer for him. 28 years old. Crappy personality, though. Low leader adaptability and work ethic. So coming over, hot shit, like I'm the dude, give me my money, and I'm just going to coast here because I am a god. I'm sure you're talented, Juan, but you got to put in some work. So I wasn't making an aggressive play for him, but the Yankees jumped in quickly, and I think he was one of the first. I think it was the actual first signing of the offseason, which there haven't been that many yet. He was second behind Kyle Finnegan. 7 years, 143 mil. So the Yankees paid big for Juan Gillier. And I can't think of any other. Gaye, I don't know. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the L. Name pronunciations are a rough one on this episode already, but we're gonna go with, let's go with Giller. I don't know. Why would I go with that? That's just sounding it out. You know what? I'm gonna search for it. That's not how to pronounce. Now, howtopronounce.com is dodgy. They're not always coming correct. Let me just be 100% clear on that. Geiler. I said Giller like an absolute buffoon. Geiler makes a lot of sense. Again, there could be some alternate pronunciations that I was messing with. Let's go with Geiler. Juan Geiler. Now, this nickname, Hamano Banshu, or Banchow, what the hell does that mean? I looked that up. I couldn't find a damn thing. It's rare. It's rare that you can Google search something and literally not find a single result that relates to it. Like it changes the spelling and flips it around. It says, did you want Banshu Hamano? And I was like, or Hamono, actually. Hamono. And then Banshu. Like, these are tangents that we don't need to be on. But anyway, this guy's fascinating. He's really good. I want to keep track of him. I kind of want to see if he pans out for them. But we didn't really need a big-time pitcher. Harry Amaya, nothing special there. Izo Kaneko, no. Kikuchi, no. Nick McDonald, yeah, had some decent stuff, but he was like a project. 24, I mean, you could turn him into something, but that's not where we're at, and the Padres got him anyway, so that's fine. Hayden Blogs, actually, look at that. He is a Guardian. So we got Hayden Blogs. This is actually our big signing. Kind of led into it with no real fanfare because we're just kind of like, boom, here it is. Because it actually just happened. I hit the record. I was going to do it right at the beginning of the Rule 5. This came in. I was like, okay, fire it up. Nickname Mazinger. Sure. Mazinger, whatever. Hayden Blogs, coming over from South Africa, is a power monster. Has 70 pop and then 50s all over the rest of the card. A couple 55s mixed in there. But, 50-55, not that different. A lot of green with the big blue power. Plays a nice third base there with the 60 arm. 45 range, not great, but 60 arm can make up for that. He has a nice arm. He can play some second, but he's poor over there because of that 45 range and 40 turn double play. So he's a third base DH, probably could play some first if we need him to. So now, 32 years old, coming over from South Africa, we're obviously not going to offer him a ton. Now, he's a captain, bringing a leadership profile over, which we love, but we went with 2 years, y'all. We paid big on this first year. Basically, I wanted to do a 1 year deal. He didn't want to do it, so I finagled it a bit. He was wanting multi-years in the low 20s. I said, I'll give you 30 up front, and then we'll see how good you are. Maybe we'll give you 15 next year with a $15 million team option. So low commitment. We want to see where this guy is. It's an all or nothing kind of profile, but it's not all or nothing is a little unfair because it's not just pure 3 true outcomes where he's going to strike out a ton. He's not even going to take a ton of walks. He has a 55i, but he should hit for a ton of power. But he can do a bit of everything else. So an all or nothing classification is unfair just because this is the one category that stands out so much. But I'm excited. I really think this could be a nice fit, and he's a righty too. So I went for him being a power guy as a right-hander. I thought that's a fit for something that we can use. Now, when you talk about third base, you say, well, you have a third baseman, and you're right. You are absolutely right. That's why he's mostly the DH/first base. That's why I mentioned first base specifically, because that's more or less where he's going to be playing. And we're not really losing anything by not playing that glove. If he didn't have 30 range in the outfield, I might stick him in a corner because he got a 60 arm out there. He just can't get to any damn thing. Oh, yeah, he translates to a 70 at first base because he's 6'4". I mean, just being 6'4", he could have a 2 infield range. And because he's 6'4", this game would say, no, you can play first. The game definitely sides with Brad Pitt in the Brad Pitt... Billy Beane, Brad Pitt as Billy Beane, in the Moneyball conversation about the ease of playing first base. Ron Washington's just like turning over in the grave that he's not in because he's not dead. When he finds out that height is all the game thinks you need to be able to play first base, he's like, oh, geez, it's incredibly hard. I got to get this scouting report up to very high, so let's do that for our new third baseman/first baseman/DH. Now, did I pay $30 million for a DH? Not quite, because, again, he's going to play first base. Bo Naylor, you know how we've been feeling about him. We've been trying to make it work, but just like Gretchen Wiener's trying to make fetch happen, we're just not getting there with Bo Naylor, and I've lost a lot of hope there. And I will say I'm one of those that, I kind of like having a premium backup for our best player. So that way... should something happen to him, which obviously we desperately hope it doesn't, we don't take a huge decline at that position. Now, if you just got talent on the team, there can be a collective pickup of a guy who goes out, and that happens a lot in baseball, right? I know I've talked about this on this channel before, on my podcasts, in writing, whatever. We overrate the loss of a single player in baseball all the time. All the time we think, oh, this team's dead. They lost so-and-so. They lost Ronald Acuna. The team's dead. And hey, the Braves haven't played their best since he went out, but they're not dead because of it, because that's just not how baseball works. And you can get a bunch of little contributions that can make up the loss of a true superstar. So anyway, we don't even need to be on this rabbit hole about losing anybody. We haven't lost anybody, so I shouldn't even be sending it out into the ether there. So Blogs fits in at first, and I do like that. If I thought we needed to move off of Ramirez at third, I would mix him in some other spots and get Blogs in over at third on occasion, but we really don't. I mean, he's 60s down the line except for a 45 double play. So J-Ram, even at 33, man, he's just so damn good. So we're good on that front. Against lefties, we will get him into, I think, DH here, and then Condon will play right, and DeLuca will go into straight up backup there. Actually, Kerstead probably should play right and Condon left. Yeah, because Condon's not a great fielder. He's just steady average, about as average as it gets when it comes to his outfielding. All right, that's where we're at right now. We don't need to get too bogged down in the lineup here on December 18th. I got to really lock in these lineups, y'all. I don't usually keep up with these. Now, that's something that would certainly be ripe for doing a, you know, a play out sim like this on YouTube and digging into it. It's not as compelling for me when they're that young. If we got draft reports like this, you know, on the top prospects, and we could scout them ahead of the draft and then get little notes back on them, I'd be all over those. I think those would be great for YouTube sims. For me, the international reports, I don't keep too many tabs on them. I'm still going to sign the guys I want. Dylan Cease was somebody I was interested in, so we're getting a note on him signing, and he signs with New York too. All right, so New York's hogging all the pitching. I was interested in both guys there, Geiler and Cease. Again, Geiler's interest was tepid. Once I saw how much he wanted and the bad personality, I backed off. But I had initially looked at him. But I was looking a bit more deeply at Cease. I was actually kind of thinking, like, what if we turn him into Super Stopper? Where maybe we shave 40 innings off of his total here, but the leverage of them is just through the roof, and he becomes a god tier 2 to 3 inning guy, you know, 2 to 4 times a week, depending. But alas, it would have been a little pricey to do that. I wanted to see where his price was going to go, and I was never committing this many years. I can tell you that right now. You all know I was doing a 3+1 or a 2+1 type vibe, which when I say +1, that just means an option. And I think I was trying to do a vesting with him. And yes, I probably would have manipulated it because I really only wanted a 3-year deal, and he was kind of buckling on that. So I added the 4th, made the option, you know, gave him a vesting option for, I think, 150 innings. And of course, this whole time he's thinking he's a starter. So he might have thought that, oh, I can make that. No, you were never going to make that. But anyway, we don't get him. So more power to him. Good luck with the Yankees, Dylan Cease, a fellow mustachioed man. I bid you adieu and wish you good luck. All right, so again, we are days away from the Rule 5. I feel like I can't get through a day without getting trade offers right now, and some have been okay. You know, we've been getting more Riley Green offers. They've been similar, like fair and good and everything, but I just don't know about taking Riley Green off the Tigers there as a division rival when I can't really find the reason that they should be trading him. Now, they might do it on their, they might have already done it. Yep, they might have just sent him elsewhere. Maybe it was just something where they had to get rid of his money come hell or high water. Maybe I should have taken advantage. But it's also another lefty outfielder. Yep, he's a Red now. Okay, fair enough. I just hope they didn't get totally fleeced. Like, okay, it wasn't because of money. They were just horned up to get rid of him, and I don't get it. They better have gotten something. Okay, they got Nick Lodolo. Okay, yeah, I can't be upset about that. Now, he has not pitched well, but his park change with this trade is dramatic, and it should really, really help him. So we'll see how that goes. They also got Victor Mesa Jr., who can at least go and get it. This is not a bad pickup either. 24 years old and 65 range in Comerica. Okay, Tigers did well there. They had to throw in Santiago Galdamez as well, which, yeah, I got no problem with that. Okay, that's not a terrible deal. I respect that. That the return is fine. I still just don't understand why they had to get rid of him. That's all. That's the part that I can't quite get to. I guess because he's going to get expensive, but I don't know. Whatever. We're not Tigers fans in this one because they're our rivals, so maybe we should have fleeced them. No, I just didn't want to do that. All right, Namgung is not happy with what I offered him. Okay. Well, you were the one who said that you would sign a minor league deal. So don't come at me sideways here saying like, yo, how dare you? I forget where I first heard that phrase, come at me sideways, but I immediately took to it and I love it. Just the concept of it makes me laugh. Don't come at me sideways. The hell's that mean? But you know what it means in context, like come at me all pissed off and crazy. All right, so now he wants a 4-year deal at $6 million per, which, you know, he's 22 years old. Like, I don't even hate that. But at the same time, no. Right? Like, it's fine, but also absolutely not. Good, sir. Oh, and don't forget here now, even if we do this option stuff and, like, let's say we give him the player option and he doesn't take it, he's still under the arbitration rules. So we wouldn't lose him. So I don't mind giving him a player option because we would still have team control over him. So he can decline. Like if he becomes a stud and is outplaying 7 mil, then all of a sudden he can be like, okay, fine, I will opt out. But then he's only going to get ARB. 357. Let's do that. Actually, you know what? Let's do 468. I can do that, especially because I took off the promised roll, because I can't promise you a roll. All right, he's interested in that. Well, I mean, we'll take a 22-year-old for that. I mean, let's be clear. We will still pay him a lot more money than that if it requires that. This is a 22-year-old who has some really intriguing standout skills. I'm going to throw him in the lab, try to get a, hone your plate discipline, and we're off to the races. I'm not going to worry about the home run power. That's fine. He doesn't need to have home run power. Hit the gaps for days and just run. And then let's get this eye tuned up a little bit so he can get on base besides hits, because he only has a 50 BABIP, and we could have something here, but we'll see. We got to sign him first. Okay. So he already likes our deal here. Already responded without simming. I like when that happens. Okay, so Zach Gallen's another guy that we were taking a look at, and he goes and signs with the expansion Portland Rosebuds, which I do like. I like them getting in the mix, signing a big name like that, so that's good. He's coming off, pretty mediocre year, damn near league average with a 96 WRC plus. In fact, when you go by WAR, it basically is 2.8 R WAR. Solid league average guy, boosted up a little bit in WAR by because of the volume, 207 innings. But you take that. That's a solid player. Even at 20 mil, if he does that again, you're not losing your head. If they get 4 years of that, okay, that's a nice deal. At 30, I'm not trying to make the mega commitment, and they got him for 486. That's a good deal. Good job by Portland on that one. Lottery time. Oh my goodness, look at how much turnover there is here. The Giants move up from 6 to get the number 1 spot. The White Sox skyrocket up from 13 to 2. The A's go from 4 to 3. The Marlins up from 7 to 4. The Angels drop from 3 to 5. And the Mariners go from 9 to 6. Nice. I know it's reversed, but nice. So who got screwed? Who got absolutely dumpstered here? Oh, Portland, right after their great move. Right after their great move that they made, they get dumpstered down to 7. The Jays go from 2 to 8. Ouch. Tigers 5 to 9. Caught a couple bad ones there. The White Sox, the real jump up. What are they coming off of? Were they even halfway decent? Okay, yeah, that's... Could you imagine that? You just had barely under 500, 79 and 83. You're putting some things together, and you get blessed with the number 2 pick. That's pretty hot. Good thing they're in the other division, I think, right? We didn't bring them. We brought only Detroit. Yeah, so they're over there in the AL Ryan. So maybe we'll face them, but we don't have to compete with them crazy in the division because it looks like they're on the rise. All right, can we get to the end of the winter meetings and do this Rule 5? Well, hopefully we can get the Namgung situation closed during this episode. Along with the Rule 5, and call it an episode. A little bit of a tighter one just to kind of not even lay the groundwork, kind of just get through what is a little bit of a quiet off season, and then whatever we have remaining after the Rule 5, I'll finish up, and we will pick up right around opening day with everything. All right, we got a couple emails here. Juan Soto, 17-year-old starting pitcher. Okay, not that Juan Soto. Okay, he's whatever. He is whatever. Not that great. Winter meetings end. Okay, wonderful. Let's take another look at the offseason center. Okay, free agency's been slow. It is 2 days in front of Christmas. And we've had a handful of big signings, but it's moving slowly here. Geiler, Dylan Cease. So the Yankees have... And they were the first guys out with Finnegan. So, they're kind of featuring here as far as free agency goes. They're the ones pushing it. Our Hayden Blogs move is a pretty big one. Zach Gallen, Ryan Helsley for 1 year, 16 mil out to the Angels. They also got Tyler Rogers, so big boosting of the bullpen. Helsley was somebody I was interested in. I'm surprised we didn't get a notif on him. Did I put him on the free agents list? No, okay. I guess I hadn't gotten to that. Because I was looking at him. 16 mil. For 1 year, that's not bad at all. I don't know if we have that much left. Do we have 16? Oh yeah, we got more than that. Oh yeah, we got just over 20. I think just under 20. Okay, so we could have done something like that. Now, if we do something like that, it's going to be later in the off season, and we're going to try to catch a discount. I'm still reminded, the best version of that ever was with this man right here, who's also a free agent this year, Edwin Diaz, in the Montreal series. And I know I've already griped about this in this series, let alone on other Twitch streams, but I am so upset that I didn't save my Montreal series, the streams, and just have them on the hard drive, even just upload the raw streams to YouTube. They have copyrighted music and everything, because I play his entry song and all that. We had a great time with it. Just to have it though, it's just lost. There's there's interesting clips from it on my Twitch, but it's just gone, and that's such a bummer. But anyway, somebody like Diaz again could fill that role. I would run it back. He's on for a 1-year deal now. He's a little high right now, 23.6. And this was the scenario with the Montreal situation. He wanted something like this around this time in free agency, maybe even a bit earlier. I kind of left it alone. He comes back, and he was down to like 18. We kind of negotiated a little bit, left it, came back, got him, I think, 1 year, 12 mil, and an amazing relationship was born between Edwin Diaz and the Montreal Expos team that we were running. So we'll see. We tap in with him a little bit, see what's up, and if he lingers out there, as he is wont to do in this game, I'm not afraid to sign a luxury item like that. Now, I know that sounds super antithetical to all the stuff we talk about how we can get rid of this reliever because we cultivate them so well. I do believe that we do. But that means I don't want to pay for them in the low and middle tiers. At the high end, I'll still pay for a badass. And it usually has to be a luxury item like an Edwin Diaz. I know we have Clase. But then Clase can maybe try to get back into a multi-inning role with his great control and be somebody that, he doesn't miss a ton of bats, but let's maybe get 2 innings out of him more consistently. And then Diaz can be just that 1 inning, lock in, just be the 9th inning closer. We'll see. I'm just saying, I don't know what we're going to spend the rest of this money on, so I'm just trying to hatch some potential ideas. Let me take a look at our free agent list that I put together. Now, it was pretty slapdash, so there might be some guys I want to add to it, but let's see. So I put Naylor on it, of course, and we'll keep tabs on him. David Aldretti's another international guy. I guess I never finished. After Blogs, I never finished the rest of the international pool there. So, I get sidetracked. I'm like a cat seeing a laser pointer. I just get going about something else. I do need to be better about that, though. I want to follow through on the topic I was talking about and then go back to something else. But anyway, we stopped at Blogs. David Aldretti is another stud here. But he was tougher on wanting a long-term deal. He's down to 6 now. He started at 8 or 9. At least he's down to 6. But, he's 30 years old, 65 power, 60 I, 50 gap, 50 avoid K, 55 BABIP. So, a lot to like there with the power and I. It's not a great avoid K at 50, but it should prevent being just a total 3 true outcomes. The reason I didn't really push on him and I went to Blogs instead was because there's no real defensive value. And I understand that all we did was put Blogs at first base. But he can play third. Like, he can play a legit third. Whereas we would put Aldretti at first, but he can't really play a corner. I'm not putting 45, 50, 50 out there. Not for more than like a week at a time for an injury coverage. So yeah, that's why I didn't go for Aldretti, but we'll keep tabs on him. If the price comes down and the years come down, we can make it work. We can go full Tim Gunn on that. That is such a data reference, saying Tim Gunn from Project Runway, a show I didn't even watch. I just happened to have picked that up. And that's not me being like, oh no, I didn't watch that. I couldn't possibly. I would have watched that. I don't care. It just never came on my radar. And then Namgung here from South Korea. We already know about him. Goei, G-O-E-I. Bro, you're usually telling somebody to buy a vowel in their name. How about you give up a vowel? I do not know how to pronounce this. G-O-E-I. Goei. Something like that. Again, correct me on any of these. Stop it. Vandenberg? Gelt. That's got to be Gelt, right? G-J-E-L-T. Gelt. Excellent personality class, but not really bringing anything else to the table. I tell you where I would have signed him. If he was 25 instead of 29. Being 29, it's just like, okay, we're not really going to turn him into anything. If he's 25 and we get really aggressive with him on some development, maybe just choose like one category to go crazy on. Like, okay, we're going to just see if you can find some power since he is ostensibly a first baseman. You know, something like that. But he's 29. It just wouldn't have worked. Oh, he went, what is this team? This team name is Quick Emersfoort. Okay. The game's messing with me now. So anyway, it was a deep international class. We got one guy from it already, Hayden Blogs, and we're looking at getting another one. Sukyung Namgung. Slugger. I'm calling him Slugger for the rest of the episode. All right, Rule 5 coming up tomorrow, or 2 days. Oh, we're doing it on Christmas. Splendid. I'm sure the friends and family of the GMs involved are going to love that. When the GMs are like, no, I got to go pick up some minor leaguer. It's a must. All right, one last check out of our guys here. So Jason Chorio is Jackson Chorio's brother, but he's sputtering. We put him at high A. It was not a good move. He's a 25 right now. If a team takes him, they can have him because they're definitely going to give him back to us. So I'm not worried about that. Trenton Delhomme, whatever. I mean, it's a Xavier Curry type profile. It's fine. Like, it's a major league pitcher that can eat up some innings for you, but it's certainly not special. Petey Halpin, I'm only clicking on the guys that I put on the prospects list at some point. I wouldn't still call Petey Halpin like a major prospect, but, you know, I usually put it for guys that I think could become major league players. And you can see a path there. There's no pop, but it's a slappy type hitter with a little bit of outfield capability and some speed. Not great. Ben Lively, Manuel Marco. Roybert Salinas, a guy we got in that Joe Boyle deal for... What was that? Who'd we trade? Estevan Florial, who ended up doing some good work for them, right? Didn't he win an award? Oh, he won a Gold Glove. And had 15 homers this year, 104 WRC plus, solid season. Jose Tena, you know, decent little utility guy, 24 years old. Could feasibly put him on the 40, but I think if somebody takes him, okay, we're flush up the middle, and so if he gets a chance to go get some burn somewhere, then I'll let him. Justin Boyd, frankly, I mean the defense is keeping him on the 40, right? Or I mean keeping him on the prospects list here. If he gets taken because of that defense, well, let's see somebody take that shot because I think they'll probably return him. Luis Durango. Now we're getting into guys that are 40s, Diane Frias. So I'm not too worried about it. So we'll see how it goes. Let's get to the Rule 5 here. I believe it is today. Rule 5 draft. Draft pool. And are we seeing anything worthwhile? I hate how it starts down here at the bottom. It's a minor annoyance. You know, we call it QOL, quality of life. But a quality of life thing would be to make it not do that. I hate that because anytime you click to a new page, it automatically goes to the bottom like that, and it's very bizarre. All right, we see a little bit of green, but nothing too special here. Let's do batters first. Tony Blanco Jr. Now this is all or nothing. This would be like the downside of Hayden Blogs. Like if he just hits for some power and just cannot do anything else. And Tony Blanco Jr. doesn't even have the power yet. It's theoretical power. It's would-be power. So, yeah, we're definitely not taking him. And then as far as pitchers, there were a couple green pitchers. Taylor Clark. Yeah, decent 32-year-old reliever. Sure. Jacob Hernandez, 29 years old. Decent enough. And Justin Lawrence, big-time ground ball guy. Side armor. 65 home run suppression. Yeah, they're okay. We're not taking any of those guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and get it started and see if any of our guys go. Start draft. Portland takes Margot. Very first pick is one of our guys, and that's totally fine. 34 or 31-year-old outfielder. He can definitely play the outfield. He can't hit for crap. He had a nice year at AAA. Good for him. Hopefully this is another chance for him to actually find some playing time, and we do wish him the very best. Toronto, Kennedy Corona. Okay, yeah, just a lot of green across the board. I don't really understand how this isn't a 50 rating when, like, almost every single rating they have is 50, and some are a bit better. So I don't know how that all adds up to a 45, but whatever. I've stopped trying to fully understand the overall. It's just a guide. It's not, it's a very blunt tool. There goes Royber. Okay. Okay. I maybe should have protected Royber now. Did he have 60 stuff just now when I looked at him? I botched that one, y'all. That's a botch job. That's a stopper right there. Yeah, that's a botch job. Okay. Well, let's make sure we don't have any other potential botch jobs again. Nah, I don't think any of these other guys. Did I dead ass look at the 60 stuff and just not flinch? Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if one of y'all was screaming at your phone or your computer like, "Hey, idiot, just throw him on the 40. You got 2 spots. You could still pick somebody." I mean, and plus we could take like some guys off. Curry, if we had to, easily. Not Vasquez. I kind of like Vasquez, even as a 40. All right, not the end of the world. I don't think Royber Salinas is the reason we're going to win or lose anything, but I'll eat that. I say we should have kept him. Should have done that. Throw him on the former prospects so we can keep tabs on him. And then we go to Nick Tricky Martinez, old Tricky Mart. Okay, solid arm. Could definitely see him doing some things in Oakland just due to the environment. It didn't really work in Cincinnati. That's not very surprising. That was my main concern with him going there in real life. I was like, dude, that sucks because he did some things last year with San Diego that were interesting, and then he goes over to Cincy. I'm like, well, I'm not interested in that. Silas Ardoin, hook 'em horns, baby. He gets picked out of Cincinnati system for the Tigers. Good scoop here. 65 eye, and then 60 blocking, 60 framing, and 65 arm with high work ethic and intelligence. There you go, Tigers. That's a nice backup catcher right there, without a doubt. Tanner Schobel goes to San Francisco. Man, picks galore right now. 24-year-old, decent pick. We'll do the top 10, and then we'll skip to ours. Mike Brasso, just a solid utility type guy. Can do a bunch of things. Maybe catch a little fire. Texas takes Hunter Gaddis. Okay, another guy from us. This one doesn't really sting. We have this profile everywhere. Only 27. Wow, I thought he was a little bit older, but only 27. Seattle takes Casey Schmidt. Okay, fine. High work ethic. 26. Not terrible. Okay, Charlotte picks 11. We'll see if Charlotte makes a pick. Aaron Polinsky. Oh, dang. Okay, I mean, it's pure 3 true outcomes. But 60 I, 60 homers, 70 gap, 40 avoid K, and 45 BABIP. That could be something. And then you get him in the lab and you just try your damnedest. I wonder which one I would go for here between the BABIP and avoid K. Because, homers technically don't count into BABIP. The ball is not in play because it cannot be fielded. I mean, obviously, wall scrapers can be robbed homers or whatever, but generally, it cannot be, it cannot be fielded, so it doesn't count toward BABIP. So to be a big home run hitter, you don't necessarily have to have a great BABIP. So if you pumped up the avoid Ks, those times that they're putting the ball in play, it maybe not going for BABIP. Instead, it's just leaving the yard. So I'd probably just attack the avoid K and leave the BABIP as is. Just accept that he's going to hit like 2 1/4 and try to get 30 bombs out of it. All right, let's go right to our pick and hope it doesn't take a pop-up, do a pop-up and take us to our email, because that means another one of our guys would have been picked. All right, thank God. But a bunch more picks. Nick Frasso, solid arm that the D-backs got from the Dodgers, plucking from their own division. That's nice too. Ian Jabot, he comes out of San Diego. I knew him from Cincy in real life, but then he's been to Washington and San Diego since then. decent. You know, there's something workable there for the 32-year-old. We'll see. Taylor Clark, we'd already looked at him. Garrett Clevenger, decent lefty. 75 stuff is pretty nice. All right, Blake Walston. Oh, he's out for 7 months. Now, I don't know about that. I don't know why you would do that. I guess you could rehab him for free and then just kind of see what's what. Jacob Hernandez. Ooh. He's kind of like Royber. He's 29, though. That's another thing about Royber. He was pretty young, right? 24. I'm really regretting that one, y'all. And then Tyler Tolve, or Tolvey. He's okay. All right, so it's our pick. Scouting recommendation is nothing, okay? That's probably right. I don't think that we're going to do anything here. You know, Jay Allen's interesting because he's got a great glove. And I do remember him from my Cincy sim. And I've picked him up in others from Cincy because this glove is just amazing. I could see going for him, just have him on the roster right now. See what's what. Could he pass DeLuca? Perhaps. Let's compare them real quick. Like, DeLuca's got him smoked right now, bat-wise. Pretty easy advantages. And then you look at the defense, that's going to favor Allen. A couple fives on the range and error and arm, so 5 down the line. And that's a big deal. And he's 4 years younger, too. So maybe we can flip DeLuca and just keep Allen, take the little bit of a hit on the bat because he's a backup outfielder anyway, and maybe get something for DeLuca. Now, I don't know what kind of price DeLuca's going to generate, but I think we'll take Allen here. I should probably look at more than just one guy and instantly take the first guy I see, but that's where I'm leaning right now. Luke Adams is another kind of all-or-nothing power guy with no work ethic. Pass. He's 21. Let's kind of sort by power. Just see if any power sticks out. Lamar King Jr. He's kind of interesting. Now, this would be something where, like, I would take him in a trade to try to keep developing him, but putting him on the Major League roster, no shot. Absolutely no shot. Shea Whitcomb, I think Allen fits. You know, I'm not interested in too much here, but somebody who could possibly stay on the team as a fourth outfielder. Christian Cairo, this is our guy too. Okay, well, don't take him. I don't think anybody will take that guy. But yeah, I think we could have something here with Allen. Let's go ahead and take him. Ooh, Christian Vaquero. I've seen him become a stud out of the Nats system in some sims. That was mostly last year. Actually, anything I reference like that for a while is going to be referencing last year because this is my first sim of this year. So it can't be unless it happens in the sim that we're watching. All right, we take Jay Allen. Go to our next pick. And shit. Nick McColajak. McColajak? I don't know. Close enough. That one seems close enough. Okay, that one is just kind of a sounder out type vibe. Anyway, he gets taken. He's okay. Man, we're taking a beating in this one. They're just gobbling up our players. In a way that's like, okay, means you have some talent, a little bit of runoff that's going to other ball clubs. In another, I'm like, well, did I make mistakes? Outside of Royber, though, I really don't think I did. And I don't think I'm just coping. Like Manuel Margot, I don't even worry about that one. Hunter Gaddis is 27, whatever. This will be on the waiver wire 500 times the rest of the offseason. And then McColajak, 60 home run. That's pretty cool. But he's a true reliever. We're fine. We're fine. Talks himself into it. No, we're totally fine. Don't worry about it. All right. I definitely don't think we're taking a second guy. Let's go look at some pitching, just in case there's a big arm that maybe jumps out. Wait. Why is this here? Where's the batter one? How'd the batter one get down here? Hang on. Please hold. Please hold while I fix this, because I don't know what's going on. There we go. Just got to have everything in order, you know? All right, we're looking at raw stuff here. Tyler Thornton got 80 stuff, 30 control. What would be cool is if there was time to get him in the lab for control, but there isn't. A, because I just don't think there's enough time before spring, and B, because all the spots are taken right now. Which, by the way, modest results right now. A couple of the guys are frustrated, but they've been ebbing and flowing throughout. I've checked in on it a few times. As y'all know, we're not going to get hung up on it until the results come through. So yeah, I mean, that's just too low. Let's try to put a little filter on this. 45. Okay, now that leaves Zach. What? Sorry, Zach Brzezicki here. 70 stuff. 55 homer and Babbitt. 45 control. Super volatile. Like the 45 control is still going to make him super volatile. But this is a bit Roybery. It just sounds like somebody with a weird accent trying to say rubbery. That's real Roybery. I don't even know what that accent was pretending to be. Jack Neely, what's going on here? Why is this man only a 45 potential? 65 stuff, 50 homer, 55 Babbitt, 50 control. You know, this, like, I sometimes get a little too enamored with the green. I admit that, right? It's all nice colors, green and better. A couple 50s here, though. It's like, he's not a stud, but 65 stuff increases your margin for error. That's just all there is to it. When you have good stuff, it increases your margin for error. Same with velocity in real life, and probably in this game, because it contributes to your stuff. So same with velocity. It just increases your margin for error on the other flaws that you have. Neely's kind of interesting because he brings the big stuff while also actually having a tinge of control at 50 and 35 stamina. So that's stoppery all day. Oh yeah, I wanted to compare to Royber here just to see. Basically, we're trying to get back what we lost with whatever pick this might be. Because yeah, I am. The further we go, the more I feel bad about it. I should have kept him around because I even pointed him out in that deal, like, hey, we also got Royber Salinas thrown in, and that's something. But then I let him go. Florial, Naver Acosta, and Ryan Webb for Joe Boyle and Royber. You know, 2 live arms, and now we have neither of them. All right, so between him and Neely, 5 more stuff, 5 less movement, and 5 more control, but then 15 less stamina for Neely. So it's not quite the same, but it's a vibe of it. Ronan Kopp, he's got 45 stamina. Okay, he might compare favorably to Roybs, although he has 10 less control. 35 control is a nightmare. Like, that's just asking for trouble. So I don't think so there with Ronan Kopp. I think Neely's the guy. Mark Church, kind of interesting, but just a little bit worse than Neely. Yeah, let's go for Neely here. And again, you know, I picked this up from Old School Sports when he does his. It's a free shot. Take a shot. Get him in camp. See what's what. You give him back. Who cares? I know it's not like literally free. You do pay some money both in real life and in the game. Who cares? It's not enough to tangibly change anything to where, you know, sometimes I've drafted guys and flipped them and gotten something that way. Just used them as the trade chip. In this case, we're trying to use Jay Allen as the coverage to make DeLuca a trade chip. And hey, maybe we trade somebody to keep Neely. I don't know, but we'll take him and see what's what. Let's auto pick. Please no email notification. Okay, it went to Royber for some reason. I don't know why that happened. At least we didn't get an email notification. Okay, so the picks are slowing down now. Since our pick, there was Justin Lawrence, Jose Ramos, Edinson Duran, and Brady Basso, whatever. So, all right, that's it. I think we just want the 2 because then, like, you can stack more, but then it starts to become a bit unruly, and you're trying to balance it all. We'll take 1 pitcher, 1 hitter, and see what we've got. Skip this pick. Auto complete, and we did it. God dang it! Trenton Denholm got taken. They had to jam us up with 1 more. Okay, Charlotte rebuilt their damn team. Did you rebuild your whole team with the Rule 5 draft? Yeah, those guys were free. I took them for free. Packy Naughton, OOTP stud. But seriously, Charlotte took 7 picks. Mark Church was the last one. Not a bad last pick. That's not a bad last pick, Shark. Good job. Davey Garcia, I liked him as a prospect. I always had hope for him. Short righties, though, I'm sorry. My short kings, I'm not trying to hate on y'all. There is a bias against y'all, but it is statistically backed. Short right-handers have a tough go of it. It's tough. That's all there is to it. I remember that was a big tag on Sonny Gray. And, he's been an outlier to the positive. But you look at history, it's tough. Tim Hudson was another one. In fact, I believe Gray was getting Hudson comps of he's somebody who could kind of overcome the under 6 foot bias. And Davey Garcia at 5'9". If he's listed 5'9", he's basically 4'1". Owen White, not a terrible pick. And then our own Trenton Denholm, whatever. Okay, cool. So there's the Rule 5. I kind of meandered through that a little bit because I just didn't have a whole lot else, right? And I'm sorry it took so long to in between episodes here because I've been a little bit busy. But I do want to get the backlog going again so we can get more consistent. I think I am going to move Chorio down to high A. So yeah, I knew it was going to be kind of a lighter off season, so we could have a little bit more fun with the Rule 5. I don't have a lot else for us to do. We do still have some money, and I'm going to be kind of eyeballing ways to maybe spend that, maybe a trade. I think I'm going to investigate some more potential trades. The question I have, though, would be for what? And I do want to be clear. I don't think our team is perfect and above reproach. It's just that where can we make legitimate upgrades, either via the trade market or free agent market? That's the thing. Are those upgrades out there to be had? Yes, of course we can improve the team. But is it superstar or bust to do that? And I think a big part of it is really going to depend on the results of the development lab. So we might just kind of sit on this money until the start of spring and see what happens as we get in there. Maybe, heaven forbid we have an injury, but we could jump in on maybe making a replacement there that we could leverage some of that money. The one risk, though, is that they take it away. I do have some concerns about that. What if I put 20 mil in the draft budget just as a way of kind of hoarding some of that money? So that way they don't snake it from us. Pop a couple more mil into the scouting budget, and now we're down to 10 mil. And no, you can't take our 10 mil. That's only 10 mil. It's nothing. We got to keep that. And then when we get past the beginning of spring training and we get to keep the money, I bring those budgets back down, and boom, we got 20 mil to maybe make a move. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to be looking to try to improve the team. If I'm guessing right now, I'm thinking maybe still center field. No, actually, I like White. No, he's better than I thought. I know he's one of our brand new players, so I had to take another check on him. I forgot he was 60-60 on the gap and homer. I don't. Maybe upgrade the pitching. But where? It's probably that luxury item of a reliever. And again, I know that is a little bit of a frivolous spending, but I don't want to leave too much in the coffers there because then they're going to say you don't need this and take it away. So that's the risk that we run. So anyway, I'm rambling. I'm repeating those points. Thank you all so much for watching. Sorry again for how long it was in between episodes. Try to get back on track there. I know that's the third time I've apologized for it, but I felt really bad when I was busy because I love doing the sim, but as my hierarchy of work goes, it does sometimes have to go to the bottom a little bit just due to other things being due as opposed to me not wanting to do it. And that's why I always want y'all to know that it's not because I don't want to. So, all right. Take care, y'all. Peace.